Hello there, it's me. Right, some of you may have heard of Bahai'ism. It's usually known as the Baha'i faith. I haven't really seen any videos on YouTube about Bahai'ism, so I thought I'd make one. In fact, I'll make a few. I'm going to have a few more coming out shortly. Really, I think Bahai'ism is one of the most brilliantly marketed religions of all time, and I'm going to talk about that in another video coming in a few days whenever I get around to it. But I just thought I'd share some similarities with you between Bahai'ism and Christianity. 1. Jesus was a follower of John the Baptist, a religious leader with a fairly strong, if small, following. Baha'u'llah, that's the prophet of Bahai'ism, was a follower of the Bab, a religious leader with a fairly strong, if small, following. 2. The cult of Jesus eventually overtook and effectively absorbed the cult of John the Baptist. Today there's only around 60,000 followers of John the Baptist's, so-called Mandaeans. Likewise, the cult of the Bab was overtaken and absorbed into Bahai'ism. Today, apparently, there's only around 2,000 Babists left in the world. 3. Christianity spread throughout the Roman world, so that there were Christian churches all over the place, but there weren't necessarily that many sizable Christian communities. I mean, it wasn't like, the whole of Turkey was Christian and there were a few churches elsewhere. It was like it spread throughout the Mediterranean world, and from these centres, these colonies, if you will, it grew to the point where pretty much the whole of, everything was Christian. Likewise, Bahai'ism has followers in 190 countries. It's the second most widespread religion after Christianity. It's actually more widespread than Islam. Can you believe that fact? Okay, that's a fact. It's the second most widespread religion in the world, but it's only got 5 million followers. So just like Christianity, it's got like these little pockets and separate, disparate people all over the place, but it's spreading, It was only founded as a religion in the mid-19th century, so it's grown quite quickly. It's grown to 5 million plus members, and it's got massive wide distribution in just 150 years. 4. Early Christians were often abused or treated badly. Same thing with Baha'is. Not so much now, but certainly in the 19th century in Iran. And I think today as well, actually, Baha'is are quite badly treated. They've got that whole persecution thing. 5. Within a few hundred years, Christianity spread to become the religion of Europe, and now has over 1,000 million followers. Baha'ism, okay, that remains to be seen. But I've got a theory, and that is, despite the fact that atheists, we always tout the end of religion, I'm not that kind of atheist. I'm not so optimistic. I think, I don't know if I'd say I'm a pessimist, but I prefer to say realist, but when you look at the beautiful statements, true, wonderful goals, as expressed in the American Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights and so on, the sort of English tradition of liberty as it's known, and when you consider how fragile those beautiful ideas are, they come under assault from all angles. They've never fully been realised, and as it is, they're totally under assault. I mean, most of the amendments to the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, have been thrown out, and I'll talk about that later. But it's funny how in the space of 200 years, such noble ideas can be so eroded and decayed and attacked from the inside and the out, when religions, which are often full of complete nonsense, just keep growing. And I've got this theory. I honestly believe that Baha'ism may well be the world religion, or in a position as influential as Christianity and Islam in 1,000 years or 500 years. I honestly believe that. That's my prediction. I predict that come, sometime in the next, 3 to 1,300 years, Baha'ism is going to be in a comparable position to Islam and Christianity today, namely hundreds of millions of followers, massive, perhaps even Baha'i nations, and a strong foothold everywhere. Meanwhile, great and noble ideas, as expressed in the US Declaration of Independence and the American Constitution and the first 10 amendments to that, are perhaps going to continue to decay. talk more about Baha'ism in another video, but there we are.